Hello, welcome to Microsoft Azure Cloud channel. In this module, we will talk about Azure Virtual Missions. We will talk about what is Azure Virtual Mission, and I will show you how to create virtual missions step by step using Azure Portal. Introduction. What is Azure Virtual Mission? What is virtual missions in Azure? Azure Virtual Missions are image service instances that provide on-demand and scalable computing resources with usage-based pricing. More broadly, a virtual machine behaves like a server. It is a computer within a computer that provides the user the same experience they would have on the host operating system itself. Azure Virtual Machines are one of several types of on-demand, scalable computing resources that Azure offers. With virtual machines, you have total control over the configuration and can install anything you need to perform the work. You don't need to purchase physical hardware when you need to scale or extend your data center. Finally, Azure provides additional services to monitor, secure, and manage updates and patches to the OS. Before we talk about the checklist for creating a virtual mission, I want to bring a few more examples that Azure Virtual Missions can be used. Deployment and test. Azure Virtual Missions offer a quick and easy way to create a computer with specific configurations required to code and test an application. Another example, applications in the cloud. Because demand for your application can fluctuate, it might make economic sense to run it on a virtual machine in Azure. You pay for the extra virtual machines when you need them and shut them down when you don't need it. Extended data center. Virtual machines in an Azure virtual network can easily be connected to your organization's network. And Azure Virtual Machines gives you the flexibility of virtualization without having to buy and maintain the physical hardware that runs it. However, we still need to maintain the virtual machine by performing tasks such as configuring, patching, and installing software that runs on it. Let's talk about checklist. Checklist for creating an Azure virtual machine. What do I need to think about before creating a virtual machine? The names of your application resources and the location where the resources are stored and size of the virtual machine and maximum number of virtual machines that can be created, the operating system that run the virtual machines, the operating system that the virtual machine runs, the configuration of the virtual machines after it starts, the related resources that the virtual machine needs. And start with the network. Virtual network. Virtual networks are used in Azure to provide private connectivity between Azure virtual machines and other Azure services. Virtual machines and services that are part of the same virtual network can access one another. By default, services outside the virtual network cannot connect to services within the virtual network. You can, however, configure the network to allow access to the external service, including your on-premise servers. Name the virtual machine. The virtual machine name is used as the computer name which is configured as part of the operating system. You can specify a name of up to 15 characters on a Windows virtual machine and 64 characters on a Linux virtual machine. Here are the examples. Environment, development, production, QA identifies the environment for the resource, and the location, US West, US East identifies the region into which the resource is deployed, and the instance 0102 for resources that have more than one named instance. And product or service, example service identifies the product application service that resource supports. And decide the location for the virtual machines. Azure has data centers all over the world filled with servers and disks. These data centers are grouped into geographic regions: West US, North Europe, South Asia, or East US, Central US. There are a lot to provide redundancy and availability. And I will log into Azure portal now. I will show you how to create a virtual machine. I will show you step-by-step process. I'm in the Azure portal now. I will go to search. I'll just type virtual machines. Under the services, we see virtual machines. Let's click on virtual machines and click on add. Now we are in the window, create a virtual machines and subscription, Azure subscription, and then resource. I'll just test virtual machine resource group. I just give this name test virtual machine to this resource group, and virtual machine name, I'll just say virtual machine 1, and region. So we need to choose the location where the resources are stored. I will choose the region as East US, and availability option, no infrastructure redundancy required, availability zone or availability set. And image, you can choose the operating system. So you can choose Ubuntu or Windows Server. I'll just keep it Ubuntu. And Azure Spot instance. So I choose no. I want to tell you about understanding the pricing model. There are two separate costs. The subscription will be charged for every virtual machine, compute and storage. And option one, pay as you go. With the pay as you go option, you pay for compute capacity by the second with no long-term commitment or upfront payments. You are able to increase or decrease compute capacity on demand, as well as start or stop at any time. Prefer this option if you run applications with short-term or unpredictable workload that cannot be interrupted. Another option, reserved virtual machine instances. The reserved virtual machine instances option is an advanced purchase of a virtual machine for 1 or 3 years in a specified region. And then I'll go to size. I'm back in the portal now. I will choose a size as B1 virtual machine size. This is just a demo purpose. So, and then here I'm in the administrator account option, authentication type, SSH, public key or password. I will just choose a password. I need to give a username. And you must give at least 12 and 72 characters long. And you need to remember these credentials when you're logging into virtual machine. And then public inbound ports or allow selected ports. Here I can choose HTTP, HTTPS or SSH. For now, I will just keep it SSH. Select inbound ports SSH. And then next one, disk. Premium, if you are running a production workloads, choose premium SSD. Or this is just a demo purpose, I will just choose standard HDD. Then encryption type, just keep it a default. And then click on advanced, use managed and unmanaged. Let's talk about managed and unmanaged disk. Managed disks are the newer and recommended disk storage model. They solve this complexity by putting the burden of managing the storage accounts onto Azure. You can specify the sizes of the disk up to 4 terabytes, and Azure creates and manages both the disk and the storage. You don't have to worry about storage account limits, which makes managed disk easier to scale up. Unmanaged disk. With unmanaged disk, you are responsible for the storage accounts that are used to hold the VHDs that correspond to your virtual machine disk. You pay the storage account rates for the amount of space you use. So here I will just pick managed disk. Then let's go to networking. Then virtual network. If you want to create a new virtual network, you can create it. For now, I'll just keep this test-virtual machine-vnet, and then subnet default, and public IP VM1-IP, and then NIC network security group, just keep it basic. Public inbound ports, allowed selected ports SSH. So if you want to change anything, you can go back to basics and then change the ports. If you want HTTP and HTTPS connections, if you want those connections access your virtual machine, you can select those connections also. For now, I just pick this SSH, and then accelerated networking, just keep it default off, and then place this virtual machine behind an existing load balancing solution. Let's say no. Next one, management, boot diagnostics on and OS guest diagnostics off, and then system assigned managed identity off, and auto shutdown off. Enable backup. If you want to back your virtual machine, you can enable this option, and then you need to create a vault and then resource group and then backup policy. So there is one session available in my channel about Azure backup and recovery service vault. Please go through that session. It is very good. So that session tells you how to back your virtual machine on SQL databases. For now, I'll just keep it off, and then advanced. Let's just say everything. Let's keep everything default. Let's go to review plus create. Oh, I want to say one more thing before I review and create. We will turn off the boot diagnostics off. Let's go back to management. Let's turn off this boot diagnostics. And then about the tags, you can choose a name just to identify any department. If you're creating for this server just for department, you can use it, like you can say payroll department or HR, like that. So for now, we'll just leave it empty, and let's review and create this virtual machine. And validation passed, and then we can see the pricing for this virtual machine, 0.0052 US dollars, and region East US, authentication type password, and let's create this virtual machine. Now our deployment is complete. Let's go to home. Let's go to resource groups. Let's go to test virtual machine resource group. Let's click on our virtual machine. So here we can see the status. We are in the virtual machine overview page. We can see the status running. Location East US. And this is our public IP address for this virtual machines. And this is the operating system, Ubuntu operating system, and then size standard B1. If you want to resize the virtual machine, you can always do that, but just go to size. Under the settings, go to size and resize. You can choose it, but before you resize the virtual machine, you make sure you stop the virtual machine and then go to size and then select however you want to resize your virtual machine. And then when you select the virtual machine size, when you do the resize, and then you must start the virtual machine. Okay. So this is how we create virtual machines and how we resize the virtual machine. If you have any questions on Azure virtual machine, please post it in the comment section. If you like this video, please hit like, subscribe, and share the channel. Thank you.